Welcome back, my fine friends, to part 2 of my Clash of Kings report. Cracking into my day 2. For a brief recap of my day 1, I lost 2 games, quite closely, I'd say, particularly one of them. And then I won 1 game, because when you lose 2 games in a row, it becomes easier. So I've not come in the best place. However, my day 2 opponent is no pushover, and that's no mistake. So a brief recap of my list. Pardon me. It is a Riftforged Orcs list. It has 2 hordes of unforged Orcs, one of which has the motions. Makwar's Potion of the Caterpillar. These guys are melee 4, defense 4, not very good. 2022, which is funny because I've been playing them as 21-23 for most of the year. 2 troops of Riftwalkers, flying guys. They're quite cool, very durable. Horde of Thunderseers with elite. A Stormforged Shrine, which can chain together its spells and boost its spells depending on how many units are near it. A Stormcaller, who's man of the match every match, with Lightning Bolt, Veil of Shadows, and Hex. He's man of the match because Hex is amazing. As you'll soon see, a Riftforged with Host Shadowbeast, who goes with Thonar, who is a beast and is now nerfed. 2 Stormbringers on Hellstrike Manticores, because they're great. And then the Iron Boots formation, which is 2 regiments of legionaries at 15-17, which is 1 higher than normal, and a regiment of reborn legionaries who gain an aura of wild charge that affects only themselves and the unforged orcs. And they are inspiring in 16-18. So day 2, game 4, I am against one of the fearsome Spanish. So the Spanish have come en masse to crush Clash of Kings once again, as they did 3 years ago. And Alberto Galan has bought his Ogres. Now, those of you who've watched my day 1 report will say, hey, an Ogre list. It's not going to be another 6 regiments of warriors list, is it? Yes, it is. It is nearly the same list. God. This one starts with 2 hordes of shooters, which you don't see very much anymore. It's kind of cool. And 6 regiments of warriors. Thankfully, not legal anymore. 1 horde of siege breakers this time with striding boots. A red goblin blaster, nice. Just the 2 bullies and 3 warlocks. So instead of the shooting sergeants, he's gone for 3 drain life warlocks, all of which with lightning bolt, and a variety of items. Will I remember which one on the table has which items? Of course not. And Nomagrog. Alright, so just for reference, one's got the banner, one's got the boomstick, and one's got Amulet of Fireheart. Don't know which one's which. I do remember which one's the boomstick guy, because I hex him a lot. This is our table. A new table, how exciting. Still the same sort of terrain though. So, flats here, 1 height 2 wall, 2 height 2 walls, I'm so sorry. A height 3 hill, and then 1, 2, and 3 height 6 pieces of terrain, and then 1 poultry forest with a single tree on it. And that is the table. We are playing push. 3 tokens. And this is how we deploy. So, I always play push the same way, which is that I put all my tokens on 1 set, and then I ignore my opponent's tokens, because I'm more interested in getting the one in the centre. So I have put very heavily in the centre with a very strong detachment on the right, where my tokens will go. Whereas my opponent, conversely, has deployed very heavily in the centre, and then a strong detachment on the right, where all his tokens will go. Do you see the problem? Do you see the problem? So, just from my side, these are Unforged, these are the Reborn. So there's nice Wild Charge, Charge 13. I've put Thonar and the Riftforger over here. I've also put the Stormcaller in there as well. I think I was worried about how much Lightning Bolt he has, so I put everyone in cover. There's one of the Riftwalkers. That's one of the Legionaries, and there's the Shrine. And then over on the right-hand side, I'll probably have a look in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. I think, but there's Riftwalkers. That's the Thunderseers, and then we've got a Flying Guy and someone else. I think so. This is his Ogre. So on the right-hand side, he's got his horde of Siege Breakers, 2 of the Regiment's Warriors. That's a Berserker Bully, and that's Nomagrog. Okay, so strong, but I think I can match it. And then we've got shooters in the middle. This red fire guy is the Boomstick Warlock. Regiment Warriors, obviously. That's, I don't even care, one of the Warlocks. That's the other Warlock. That's Bully. This Goblin Wingit is actually the blaster, because he likes the model more, which is fair. There's some more warriors, and on the right hand side there's the other warriors. So he's spread quite thin, which I like. I've got one of my Stormbringers on Hellstriker. I remember the name. Manticore over here on the left hand flag, just to kind of worry him a bit, and the other one on the other side. There we go. So that's my strong right. So I think we're quite evenly matched there. I think maybe he's got the edge on me, but we shall see. And then he puts his 3 tokens on the siege breakers, and I put my 3 on the regiments, which means this entire part of the battlefield is now pointless, because whoever wins over there wins the game. So, you know. But I get first turn. Yay, there's the token in the centre. So I push forward really hard on the left as far as possible. I'm peeping over the hill here. And I keep my characters hidden here. And then I believe I hexy. Then very hard on the right hand side as well. So this wood nicely shields me from all of that. So I've only got to deal with this. But he does outpower me, so I need to play very carefully and cleverly. There's the hex on the Boomstick Warlock. Take that. And that was a bit lightning bolt on those ones for 1 damage. So his response, he pushes forward just as hard in a typical I've got 6 regiments of warriors so they don't matter type of way. And he's mainly going to start shooting me immediately with shooters. Nothing I can do about that. And here he is on the right hand side. He's doing something similar. So he's using the wall strategically. Obviously I'm faster than he is because I'm speed 14 and 20. And essentially what he's done is say, well, okay, go on then. You can fight one of these guys and the other one will have you. So let's see what we did. On my turn 2, I was on the lightning bolt, went down here for 1 damage, and he didn't get away with it amazingly. Wow, forgot to mention that. 10 wounds from shooters. I don't like shooters. So I decided to just go in. As you can see, I have put an arc here, because the way he's positioned, if I manage to kill this regiment of warriors, now I've got 5 attacks on 4s and 3s, and 10 attacks on 4s and 4s. And they are 11, 13? So it's not completely unprecedented that I might kill them. And then over a mere 1 inch, I've only got to deal with the Bully and Nomagarok. And not Siege Breakers. This will put me in a very good position. So I gambled. I gambled big on turn 1. And I brought up my troops like that in response outside of 12 here, but it means I'm in 12 here. And on the right hand side, I kind of just push forward some more. These guys are obviously very hurt already, so we thought we'd just grab the token while we can. I put my Stormbringer on this side in a nasty place where no one can see him. Oops. Maybe they can see him. Maybe we're outside of 12. Who knows? I probably measured it. And I put my Riftwalkers right in front of the Horde so that with all of these troops, they're covering this flank. They're slightly over this flank. He's only going to be able to get 1 of them in. So he has 1 regiment of warriors to come into my Horde. So I thought that was pretty good. And I had the choice of Veil of Shadows to protect myself, but I thought, you know what, it's more important to lock down this Warlock. That's what I thought. Maybe I was wrong. So I hexed him again, because, you know, it's fun. And that's what happened. So you can see the little token there. That says 3. Not a lot of wounds. That's very bad. Let's see. Let's do the math. So let's say 5 hits on average on 4s. So 2 or 3 wounds from him should have come down. Maybe 2 or 3 hits there. Yeah, it is under, but not what I needed. But you shouldn't gamble. So in response to this, on this side, he's sent 1 in because that's what he can fit. Another one's coming in the flank of these, and these guys just really backed up to show him. But what I'm going to do there is I'm going to jump him over this way. Right? And obviously, so he's brought the warriors forward here to protect the siege breakers who are coming into the flank of my Stormbringer, whereas the bully and these warriors have come into this troop. So that's not good. And the second round of shooting completely obliterated my Horde, which is rude, isn't it? So I have to drop this here, which is great, because now I can hop these guys onto it and get a token. So, you know, that's painful, isn't it? But I'm going to start locking them down from next turn, I hope. So then Thonark, what does he do? Oh no, that's just showing that. Well, that's the rest of the shooting. The rest of the shooting on these guys, 5 wounds on them. So his shooting is proving very, very effective. That's my lack of a Stormbringer, who obviously used to be here and now isn't. Siegebreaker's looking smug. However, bit of payback there is the countercharge and the bully coming in as well. Though there is a wall under here, don't forget. So everyone is, well, he's hindered. They're not because they're countercharging. Puts these guys on 7 wounds. They're a -12. He does not roll the requisite, 5? He must roll a 4, 3 or 2. Wouldn't be the 2, I'd have taken a photo of it. So a 4 or 3. That was good. 5 wounds onto them, they're okay. Even better, a flank from Warriors onto these guys. Only does 4 wounds. Terrible. Terrible, terrible rolling. So that's really helped me. On we go into turn 3. So this is how the battlefield looks at turn 3. Don't forget, none of this matters. Only this matters. But it's not going well on that side, so that's not great. I have got these guys here, but he's got all that still alive. I've not really done any damage to it yet. So, you know, it's what it is. So we send the Thunderseers in. So looking at that, I decide that I don't want to sacrifice my Thunderseers just yet. The tokens are on this unit. So I'm going to come in and smash. We're going to really wipe these guys out and then use the already wounded unit to shield the Thunderseers against all this. So I thought it was a good idea. So you that. And I think I've just stayed here, inviting them to attack me. I'm not quite sure why, but there you go. And then on this side, so to lock down the shooting, which is proving so devastating, Thonar goes across this terrain into one of the hordes of shooters. I send my Manticore down the back to face off down here. He did turn his bully, but he didn't turn him quite far enough, which is probably a little bit of a mistake. This troop that didn't die goes into this Warlock. Is that the... Hang on, are we 1 Warlock down? No, there he is. There's the one I keep hexing. It's another one. Because he's getting in close and these guys are very drain life kitted up, right? So I don't want him to drain life me, so I'm just going to give him a tap so he can't attack me. And we send the Reborn Legionaries, who is here, into the rear of these guys, which is delicious. We're going to roll 36 attacks. Countercharge here. And off we crack. One slight irritating thing. I can't quite get this guy close enough to host Shadow Beast Thonar, so, you know. It's what it is, but we've picked up the token and we're away. What's that showing? Nothing. Okay. Why am I showing this again? Maybe I was just so excited by my maneuvering. There's Thonar doing 3 wounds onto these shooters, and we hex this guy this time. I think he's the Fireheart guy. Probably couldn't see that guy because he'd run away because he was so sick of being hexed. Over here, so we do kill that troop finally, and we position my Thunderseers like yay. I charged the bully with these guys rather than this unit. Obviously, I didn't kill him, but they did do 4 wounds, which is pretty good. What it means is because they're so close, the Siegebreakers can't get past. And they slid down, so if they turn, they're not going to be able to get into here. And they're out of 12 for these guys. And then these guys have got a choice of coming in here or coming in here. So let's see which one we do. We knock some wounds on the Warlock, so he can't cast. And we kill this unit here. And I turn, why would I turn like this? Because the shooters can't turn and get into my flank. I'm in the front of the Berserker Bully that's there, and I'm in the front of these warriors that are here. That's why they're like that. This regiment rather, has also died. So good, we managed to clear out a couple of the regiments, which is very, very useful. And then, so what is his response? He chooses the Thunderseers because they are the bigger threat. So Nom comes up here. He sends the Berserker Bully into this troop to finish them off. He comes forward with the Siegebreakers because actually this regiment is not really a great threat to a horde of Siegebreakers to get 6, especially with that Bane chant. So that's depressing, but it is what it is. So over here, the regiment that was here comes into the flank here, which I didn't quite see, but that's my problem. It doesn't really matter because I can murder them here, and actually nothing matters at all down here because there's not many tokens here. There is a counter charge here. I think he's going to shoot because he sends the regiment that was here into the shrine to stop it casting, which is fair. Oh, and he's also going to shoot with this guy as well, I think. Yeah. Okay, oh no, so he moved some other stuff. So this is the guy that was hexed, but at the back here, he just moved them out of 20. Right. But it's a weird choice, isn't it? Because I think the bully really should be facing that way. Anyway. Yeah, that's just really frustrating. He's just pow, 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 pow. So much shooting, right? So that is this horde of shooters, the boomstick warlock, and the blaster throwing grenades, all coming in here. And they put 10 wounds on them in a single turn. Yep, and that is, I think that's a heal. So that's Nomogrok healing all of the wounds off the bully. And then on the overroll, they then die and drop a token. So I did have a token very briefly, and I've dropped it again. So there you go. Over here, the bully manages to kill my troop and overruns. And 3 wounds go on my Thunderseers. You see I've run out of little wound trays, which shows how bad things are going. 3 wounds on the Thunderseers, so they're still alright. That's good. And then over here, 4 wounds onto the Shrine, that's fine. I should do that already. 2 wounds on Thonar. He doesn't care. He's tough as nails. However, he does kill my troop, finally, of Riftwalkers, freeing up his Warlock, and he turns to face my Reborn Legionaries. Turn 4. Oh, look, it's the next door neighbour's army. Hey guys, how you doing? I wonder whose army it is. Oh, I think it's John Green's army. Right then, so we come off the hill into this troop. My tree's fallen over, as you can see, but I don't really care. And in order to allow that charge, the Reborn Legionaries come into the flank of the blaster, which has been taken off its base because it didn't fit. I then finally get my Stormbringer into something, so he picks up where Thonar left off. But I hear you say, "Where's Thonar gotten?" Allow me to tell you. He's buggered off over there because I decided I am losing this side, which is the only important side. I would remind you, none of this matters. None of this matters. Thonar needs to help, so he withdraws, turns, and books it as fast as he can over here to come and join the party. His mate is being left behind, but he needs to take care of these guys because this shrine needs to come over here and pick up the token. So he comes into the flank of that regiment of warriors in the hope he can destroy them. And my Stormcaller just sits in this lake, happily hexing away like a little legend that he is. And over here, so we counter church. Nuts before I moved. There's the hex on the boomstick guy. He had one lovely turn when he wasn't hexed. Back to being hexed for you, son. Yes, that's shown you that already. What's that showing? I don't know. Who knows? Was there anything? I've just took the photographs twice. There you go. Now I finally moved these guys. I think I was just so smug about this move. I was really clever. I thought it was great. I took a photo of it before I did anything. So I then, rather than take the counter charge, I took the flank charge. It is hindered, but I don't care because it's a flank. And rather than take on the siege breakers, because why would you take on siege breakers? I take the flank on these warriors, and then I calculate I just need to roll a 2 or more to overrun out of the charge arc of the siege breakers. What's more important is I'm keeping the tokens in his half, and if the siege breakers then turn to follow me, then they will also be in my half and then worth 1 rather than 2. You can see down here that the Riftforger has Host Shadow Beasted himself for 3 extra attacks, doubling his attacks. So very weak and insipid fighting from my Unforged Orcs here. We put 9 wounds on these guys. Is that 9? Could well be. Anyway, they're not. Oh, I think they're wavered. That's what that thing is. So I waver them, which is fine. It doesn't it really doesn't matter. But the blaster dies and doesn't get to blast. That's good. And is that any wounds? I'm not sure I did any wounds to them by the look of that. That says 3, and they were on 3 before. Oh no, I did. Oh, there's a 6 hiding behind there. They're on 9 wounds, and they are also wavered. So much of his army got wavered this turn, which is very, very frustrating for him. Moreover, we kill both the units over here. So that is great. The warriors die, and I can turn my Thunderseers to be facing all this stuff. I've ignored Nomogrok here. But also, I kill the regiment that was here, and I overrun 3. So now I've got a bully who will be in the flank, and Nomogrok can also potentially come in the flank, but the siege breakers are not there to hurt me. Which is what happens. So he takes them in, they both come in, and the siege breakers turn around, which is good. The siege breakers should turn around, because now they're keeping the tokens in my half. Unfortunately, these guys might die. Boo. So let's see what happens. He then takes the Warlock, who is perma-hexed, decides that I'm fed up of being hexed, I'm just going to melee you, and comes into him. Oh, because these guys did kill this regiment, which is very useful, because we're going to go and get this token now again. And then he does a cool move. I thought it was a cool move anyway. So he turned these guys, because they're wavered, which allowed the Berserker Bully to come into my Stormbringer, which is a very, very cool move. I thought it was very clever. Yeah, that's showing some shooting. Oh, that's the shooting. So he then shoots the shooters, but only does 1 damage, I want to say, onto the shrine. So much do we have? 4. Oh, I can't quite see the dice. Oh, we're going too far back. 4. Yeah, 1 damage. Okay. No. No damage. No damage at all. You suck. Shooty boys. That's Drain Life. I don't know how much Drain Life was done, but not enough to hurt me. Maybe enough to just do a little bit of healing. Oh, that's Drain Life. He goes from 5 to 8. So he's done 3 and he's healed these guys up by 3. That's, I think, what happened. I think. But what's annoying is that he wavered me with the Drain Life. I was about to charge in to the rescue, and now I will definitely not charge into the rescue. The Bully also wavered my Stormbringer, so it's all going rather badly over here. But it doesn't matter. 2 wins there, he doesn't care. But Nomagorok and the Bully utterly blew my regiment to shreds with that flank charge, which is where bullies want to be in the flank, isn't it really? And then Nomagorok has picked up the tokens. You can't quite see them there, but there's 3 tokens on him. So now he has all 6, and he's entirely protected by this Bully in the front. Dun, dun, dun. Oh no! Initially, he put them down like that. He split them one between each, and I'm like, thank you, that is awesome. And then he changed his mind. There you go. They're still on 10 wounds. Why is that? Turn 5. Good. Right, so we're into turn 5 now. This is what the battlefield looks like. It's very tense. It's very tense, but it's looking rather desperate for me. So we have... they were wavered, so we've got the charge there. These guys are wavered. They can't do anything. He's wavered. Right? I've got my shrine. He's about to turn and pick this up, but he's going to start shooting me. And at the side of the battle that matters, he's got all 6 tokens, and the front of Nomagorok is protected by a Bully. Plus, if I do charge the Bully and kill him, the Siege Breakers will come in and kill me. I've got a Thonar, I've got Thunder Seers, and I've got this guy who might need to come in maybe 2 turns' time, but clock is running very, very low. So that's what we do. We turn this shrine and pick up the token. I can't do anything here. I can't do anything here, and I countercharge here. And so I book this guy as fast as I can this way. And we go all in. So the Thunder Seers come over the wall into the Siege Breakers, and I rely on Thonar to come into the Bully. Let's see how we do. Poorly is how we do. So we do manage to kill the Bully with Thonar, which is an absolutely legendary attack. He's hindered, so 6 attacks on 4s. The Bully is unwounded, and I managed to kill him. We've got some pretty neat explosions going on with his attacks. And now I'm looking Nomagorok right in the face. However, I think that's his 5 wounds by the look of it. Or maybe 2. That's his 5, doesn't it? 5 wounds. Which is not enough. Because I only crushed 1. So I'm wounding on 5s, even with 30 attacks. And I was on 4s over the wall. Yeah, 5s over the wall. So 30 attacks on 5s and 5s. 5 wounds is frankly spectacular. We waver this regiment again. Pointless. Like, so pointless. Here's how we look. It's looking a bit desperate, isn't it? Oh, see, I hexed him again. This is quite really funny. Yes, what's happened there? He has shifted these guys to the right to allow this guy to come in for some reason. Oh no, he hasn't at all. The Bully has gone this way, and these guys have charged my wavered Stormbringer. That's what's happened, which allows this guy to come in. So the Bully is getting ready to finish the job by coming down here to attack the shrine. What's happening? Nothing. Did he waver them again? I don't know. And then on this side, so the Siege Breakers countercharge, and Nomagorok turns here, comes through his own unit, like so. So I can't see him because we're all height 3. So now all the tokens are hidden from me. but still in his half. So he does have 6 points. If I can steal these 3 and get over, I can win. I've only got 1 turn to do it. Hexy Boy comes over here, chasing this token. He wavers this Stormbringer again. He wavers, so this is Drain Life, wavers this unit again. So we're all just Waver Town. We're Population Waver Town. Oh no, there you go. It was before the nerve roll. So he kills this one. I think maybe it was a Drain Life. It was a Drain Life. That was some Drain Life damage, and then he kills them with the shooters. So that's bad. Now I've got 2 hordes of shooters in the centre of the board. And then this beautiful, beautiful thing happens. Really sad. Particularly for Alberto, because I think he was winning. I think we can see he was winning, right? Skin of his teeth, but he was definitely winning. That's his clock. So he timed out, and I got 5 minutes left. Poor Alberto. I feel bad for him, because I just have a free turn 6. A free turn 6 to do whatever I like. And whatever I like is to murder things. So I turn with the token, come into the half here, so I get 2 points. And then I just go on an absolute killing spree down here. So we kill the Siege Breakers with my Thunderseers and take their tokens. And then we... is that it? No, yeah, there we go. Get their tokens. And then we come into Nomagorok. And I don't need to take his tokens, because by that point I've got 7 points to 3. And I do actually get a turn 7, but we kind of agree that, look, you know, it's going to be a flank here, plus the Thonar's attacks. I don't have time to roll the dice, so we kind of leave it there, and we leave it as a 7-3, because that's max points. Anyway, that's the end of the game. Great game. Lovely man. Very clean player. Very clean, very fair. You know, there was a couple of times when he forgot his shooters, and I was like, no, you're fine, you can go back, and he let me have a take back. You know, we had a really decent game, very nice guy. Some people were complaining about the Spanish players' lack of cleanliness in their movement. I did not see any of it with Alberto. He was brilliant, and I really, really enjoyed meeting him. And he said to me he didn't mind losing because it was such a great game, which I thought was very noble. Yeah. So, I finally get another win. Yay, 2 wins. And we go on to my final game of the tournament. Okay, we are into the final game, and I was delighted, genuinely delighted to be up against Mr. John Green Jr., our other US friend who'd come over, having one Lone Wolf, and his Abyssals, so that's really fantastic. And this is his Abyssals. I've never played Abyssals in a one-on-one game in Kings of War. So take that, or maybe I have. I think I have. Not in memory, put it that way, not in recent memory. Certainly not at a tournament. So, he has got 3 regiments of ghouls. Chaff, 14-16, defense 4. Double Moloch hordes, both of which have got Despoil as champion, and we've got Caterpillar and Strider, which is default. 2 regiments of Tortured Souls. A double Cronius, nasty. Double Seductress, so one's got Gnome Glass Shield and one's got Blade of Slashing. Seductresses have Ensnare, by the way. I didn't know this. I didn't know this until I charged one. We'll see that shortly. Find that out too late. And then we've got double Warlocks. One's got Abbotshire, one's got Sacred Horn and Veil of Shadows, which is not of any use in this game because I haven't got shooting. And then the Manifestation of Baal, who's like a little dragon, very expensive. Okie dokie, so this is our table. Forgive, I'd already put my army on when I thought, I haven't taken a picture of the table. It looks pretty similar to all the other tables, as you might imagine. In fact, I think we have seen this table before, maybe from the other way around, I don't know. So we've got double flat terrain here. We've got a wall and a wall. We've got 2 poultry forests, and we've got 2 blocking terrain. Okay? Here's what it is. We are playing Dominate. Here is Dominate token. It actually should be about here. But that's not important until much later. And this is how we deploy. So John has gone with a 3-pronged deployment. So in the centre here, he has a very, very, very strong centre. So he's got Ghoul, Ghoul, Ghoul in the middle, with Croniuses between them. There's a Warlock. I think he has Abbotshire. And double Molochs. It looks like that one might be... it doesn't really matter. No, that one's Caterpillar. That one's Boots. I know that because they charge over the wall later. Over on the left here, we have the Blade of Slashing Seductress with some Torture Souls and the Manifestation of Baal. That's the Warlock, the other Warlock. And here on the right-hand side is his other kind of very small detachment where he's got Torture Souls and the Seductress with the Gnome Glass Shield. So against that, I have gone with I'm trying to get to the centre, so I have to go very strong in the centre. So normal deployment. And as I was deploying, I was thinking very strongly, well, you know what? This deployment hasn't worked yet. But let's give it a go. So, if you've got a strategy, might as well stick with it. So these are the Pathfinder Rubbish Orcs. These are the other Rubbish Orcs. This is the unit gives them Wild Charge, Reborn Legionaries, Shrine, Stormcaller. There's Thonar and the Riftforger. Here's my 2 Legionnaire regiments. Here's my can of Red Bull. And here's some Riftwalkers. And then I've gone very, very hard with all my fuss stuff on the left, basically, apart from Thonar. So we've got the other Riftwalkers, both of the Stormcallers, Stormbringers, and then the Thunderseers. Okay, to face off against these guys, which I think I win power-wise, but we'll see. Beautiful models. Have a look at these. Aren't they a feast for the eyes? A feast for the eyes, indeed. And they're all very carefully and gently and subtly. And so this is actually a Moloch with wings added and all his limbs changed. Isn't that clever? Just brilliant, brilliantly clever army. Everything is... Oh, anyway, I'll stop waxing lyrical about it. Ask him, he's great. That's my little detachment. Oh, look at that, little close-ups. Okay, someone likes their army. And John wins first turn and goes first, because why wouldn't you? And so he's a cautious push forward with a Seductress here in the front. I think, does Baal have Lightning Bolt? I want to say he does. Sorry. I should know. Whoa, I have to go back to it again. Whoa, come back, here we are. Lightning Bolt 7, blimey. It's good, isn't it? That's why you have him, really, isn't it? Lightning Bolt 7, boys and girls. So, Lightning Bolt 7, along with a Warlock. And that's all this kind of meat in the middle. We'll meet in the middle. Torture Souls hard down the flank and the Seductress in the woods. So, there is shooting. And I believe he shoots my Stormbringer over there. I'll have a look in a second. I come forwards. That's a Lightning Bolt there. There's a wound. I push Thonar right out to say, go on then, Seductress, have a go. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough with your duelist. I think I'm alright because you're crush 1. Didn't know they were ensnaring at that point. So there is 3 wounds, as you can see. He's on 3 wounds from the Lightning Bolts. We come forward. We respectfully stay out of that line because I don't want to be hit by it. And into turn 2, so the Torture Souls now continue their march down my flank. I've kept my Riftforger back deliberately to come in here, and he just triggers it, says don't care. I think he thinks he wins that fight. Let's see. There's a... what is that? That'll be Firebolts, I guess, here. 1 wound on them. However, he's now up to 5 wounds, which is a lot, and I don't like it. The Seductress, however, I was right, only does 3 wounds, so Thonar is still okay. So now, on my turn 2, we've got a Wounded Stormbringer. He's going to die if I don't do something, so I take him into the Seductress, not knowing she's got ensnare, so that's poor, but never mind. And then I've come forward very heavily with these Riftwalkers with this guy behind, so he's actually looking quite threateningly down this flank. And I've kept my Thunderseers here just out of 20 of the Manifestation of Baal. We've kept a line here. I decided not to trigger, because the other thing I could have done is take the Riftwalkers and pop them in front, but I decided not to do that yet. I think in my head I was thinking next turn. Next turn we'll do that. In the meantime, on the right-hand side, you can't quite see, but I've taken both the Horde and Thonar into the other Seductress, who I didn't know had ensnare. I soon find out. So there we go. But he manages 4 wounds, which is very impressive. And then I double 1. The Seductress, so that's he's going to definitely die. And then I double 1 her as well. So I double 1 both Seductresses in 1 turn. Moreover, so Thonar does manage to do a wound, or 2 wounds, to knock off her Gnome Glass Shield. He only gets 1 extra attack from the Riftforger, which is why he performs. And I think I don't roll any 5s or 6s, so he doesn't explode. And then the Horde, who are now hitting on 5s because of ensnare, only do 2 wounds. And then I double 1 it anyway. So that wasn't very successful, was it? Moreover, over here, so it wasn't the Riftforger that did the Host Shadow Beast, it was the Shrine. The Riftforger Host Shadow Beast himself and managed 3 wounds on the Tortured Souls, but they're fine. Annoying. Turn 3. So turn 3, it's crunch time for this guy. He's going to die. And we've got some more Firebolts going to go here, and the Tortured Souls come into the Riftwalkers. Counter charge in that corner. And this Seductress just decides that she doesn't fancy this fight. She's off. Boom, away she goes. There we go. That is more Firebolts for 4 wounds onto this Horde that's just hanging around in the centre. Don't know what's happening there. He's dead. I think. Oh no, I think these guys die. They do. 5 wounds and dead. So 5 wounds and he rolls. Well, it would have to be a 7, wouldn't it? Is it 8? An 8. An 8 twice. He rolls the 8 twice that he needs to get them off, which is irritating, but it is what it is. So, in return, the Thunderseers look at what they've got and decide they can't really, the only thing they can really kill is these guys, and so they decide to do that. And meanwhile, the Stormbringer, who was hiding behind the Riftwalkers, jumps over the back. It's been very, very annoying. So the only thing that can say manifestation of Baal's line of sight is like this. Nothing can see him apart from the Seductress, who I don't think is very threatening. And I decide I've had enough of standing around being shot. I need to send some things in, so I send some rubbish things in. Because I hope that either the Horde or the Riftwalkers will put paid to at least one of these regiments of ghouls with their 14-16 nerve. Let's find out. Because I have got these guys in reserve waiting to come in. And then over here, the Seductress is buggered off, so I turn my Shrine around. So the Tortured Souls, by the way, kill the Riftforger on the counter charge, which is very distressing. Because he's defense 5. Anyway, you don't need 10, 12. Line of sight is here. So they can't see my Stormcaller. They can see my Shrine. They can't see anything else. So I've offered them the Shrine to attack a hindered charge. In the meantime, Thonar is hiding behind this Horde, and we're threatening here. You can see I've put the Horde just out of reach of the Molochs, who've got Boots of Striding. Double Lightning Bolts. So Lightning Bolt from both of them. Up to 6 wounds, still don't kill them. Urgh. Even worse. The Riftwalkers managed 3 wounds, which is kind of what you'd expect, I guess. But a little bit low. Even worse, this Horde does not kill the other regiment either. We do kill the Tortured Souls, and now we've got Baal and Warlock to deal with. Turn 4. So the Tortured Souls take the charge, take the bait. Stop me casting, which is fair enough. He moves his ghouls forward. John's very patient player, so he moves them forward and sits them on the other side of the wall and says, "No, you charge me. Go on." And then it just all goes wrong. So I think these guys took 8 wounds, but I didn't kill them. So now I've got Cronius and Regiment on Horde. Moreover, Baal flies over to join in the flank. So it's looking bad there. And the other Cronius comes over here to join in with that regiment. So, oh dear. So having just flown off with Baal, he also flies off with the Seductress over here to charge my Stormbringer. And the Warlock comes around here, leaving my Thunderseers with nothing to do next turn. Great move. That's all the Cloak of Death. Cloak of Death going off everywhere. Croniuses are good. 2 wounds, stops me flying, which is fine. 3 wounds from Firebolts, we're still okay. The Horde... This Cronius has fallen over, he's so excited. The Horde, of course, explodes into tiny pieces of Orc everywhere. And as do the Riftwalkers. So everything dies in the centre. Everything dies. 1 wound there, Shrine's okay. And he reforms like, yay, so this is my turn. So Thunderseers having nothing to do, I simply bring them over. So he can't escape me this turn, surely. And I send the Reborn Legionaries in to these ghouls to hopefully finish them off. I say finish them off. They haven't got any wounds because they've been healed. Is there Drain Life in this list? I want to say there is. I have to take the charge. So Thonar is here. comes around into the flank of the Seductress because she's facing this way. She's come over this way. So I think I see the opportunity to flank her, kill her, and overrun. And then I'm really in a nasty place for Thonar. In the meantime, I take the charge on the ghouls in the hope that I can actually do something. And the Shrine counter charges the Tortured Souls. Those are John's fingers, letting you know that it's my third double one of the game. I do indeed double one that regiment on like 8 or 9 wounds. It's rude, isn't it? So Thonar knocks it out of the bag. She's up to 9 wounds. I rolled a 3. These are dojo dice that John has given me. Hey, I've given you a gift of some dojo dice. Well, they're rubbish. I rolled a double 1 and then a 3. So she's fine too. Which means Thonar's going to get mollocked right up the wazoo. I do kill the Tortured Souls though, so there's that. You know. Bad times. These guys, 8 wounds, not dead. Terrible. Terrible. Everything is looking at their flank. So bad. So bad! Oh no! Oh, in turn 5. This is turn 5, right? Sorry, I missed the turn dice. Apologies. So, yeah, turn 5. So, Molochs blow their boots. They ignore Thonar and come into the Horde because unit strength, sensible. Double Cronius, one on the flank, one on the front, along with some ghouls into them. These guys are healed down to 4 wounds now. Regen. Is it regen? Do they regen? No, they don't. I'm sure it's drain life. I'll check at some point. Let's pretend it is. So that's looking like that. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to say, this Stormbringer decided to flank Bael to stop him flying, just to try and take some wounds. He'll take 3 wounds, but he's okay. The Molochs have then come across the wall into my Thunderseer, so they'll be hindered, so I think it might be alright, but we'll see. Unfortunately, the Seductress joins in, so that's less good now, along with, if they do have Drain Life. And they don't. So my Thunderseers never really got to do anything, apart from kill some Tortured Souls. They died. Wavered my Stormbringer. And wavered my Horde. So these double attacks, really, I got off lightly. There's only 14 wounds from Molochs unhindered, and then Ghouls unhindered. And they're only defense 4, so at least he had a 1 turn of under level dice. 6 wounds onto Thonar as well. And so my response is this, because they enter into turn 5. I'm trying to secure the center. The center is here, right? So I need these stuff to not come in. He's got a lot of individual stuff though, so I come into this regiment here. Oh, they were 4 wounds, weren't they? Why? Oh, because I'm going to try and lightning bolt these guys. So these guys have come in to try and shoot off this regiment. Right, that's the unit strength gone. Then this other regiment comes into the Molochs, and the Horde goes into the Ghouls. If all these come off, I will be in quite a nice position. So they do on this side. Despite rolling yet another 3, I have done enough wounds to kill them. Just appalling nerve rolls. The whole game, appalling nerve rolls. So we do manage to kill the Molochs, and we do manage to kill the Ghouls, and we manage to kill the Seductress. Do we kill the Seductress? No, we don't. We ignore the Seductress to charge in with Thonar in the back. So you can see here, I think Thonar, I don't know which one he goes into, maybe the Ghouls. Yeah, it looks like the Ghouls, isn't it? Just to make sure that we finish them off. We reform like this, so we're trying to protect the Horde because it's massive unit strength. These guys are undamaged, however. So he is going to send Cronius in, but I should be okay for a charge or 2 as long as he didn't roll too badly. However, this regiment fluffs it, which is critical. So these guys go up to 8 wounds, only 4 wounds off them onto these Ghouls. These Ghouls are so indestructible this game, very frustrating. 12 attacks on 3s and 3s. I think should do more than 4 wounds by my calculations, but it doesn't. It doesn't. My dice are not good. So that's just tragic, because that regiment will now also die. And we crawl whimperingly into turn 6. The Seductress and this Warlock, along with a little bit of Cloak of Death, take out my Horde, which dies, but only 1 wound. on my regiment from the Cronius, which is great. Oh no, I'm so sorry, 7. 1 wound was the Cloak of Death. He then does 6 wounds and wavers them. But there's no Fury Aura. Noticed I have not managed to shoot off this horde, this regiment rather. This is tragic. However, my regiment, of course, is dead because the Cronius comes around and flanks him. Baal has flown over here to be unit strength in the centre because this is the end of John's turn and potentially the end of the game. So let's have a look. 12 inches comes to about here, just so you know. If I'm going to draw that very carefully around there. Yeah, actually, this one is in. So I have got 3, 4 unit strength. He has got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 regiments worth 3 each. And I hatch a plan at this point. And I turn to John and I say, John, I think I can draw. And he goes, what? Because clearly he's winning. Look at it. I'm off the board. I've got 3 units left. He goes, what? I go, well, if I lightning bolt this unit off, it's on 8 wounds. And I lightning bolt this unit off, which is also on 8 wounds. Then it's 4 all, isn't it? And a look of panic flitted across his face. It really did. It was very intense. I thought it was intense. And so we go for it. We come in, and I'm going to lightning bolt you. I'm going to double lightning bolt you. Here we go. So the first lightning bolt goes in. And I think it's from the shrine onto this unit. Krakow. Oh, other unit. Sorry. Krakow. Must have been this one first. It was this one first. Take it off. I take it off, and at this point, I tell you what, my nerves are on fire. You can taste the tension in the room, because I just need to roll, see 8, there it's 14, 16, aren't they? Just need to roll 1 damage, put them up to 9, and then roll a 7, right? 7 twice. 1 damage, 7 twice, 2 damage, 6 twice. So I do it. I roll the dice, I do a damage, I look him in the face and say 7 twice, John. I roll the first nerve roll. It's a 9. I look at him. He looks at me. And I roll another double 1. My fourth double 1 of the game. And at this point, I let loose a guttural scream of despair. And literally everyone in the room turns around like, what the bloody hell's going on? Several people come over to the table. I've never seen someone roll on the floor laughing like really before. John was literally rolling on the floor laughing as I double 1 for the 4th time that game and scream my despair into the void. Oh no. Oh no. That's not important. Whatever happened there didn't kill him. And then we got a turn 7 anyway, so it didn't really matter. All the tension went away, and he utterly obliterated my army. So turn 7, this is how we end up. It's just, a total victory for the Abyss. I got 1 unit strength, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great game. Fantastic end to the tournament. Same to finish on a loss, but I'm really happy that I had such a great game against John. Such a nice guy. And I won a painting award for Thonar for best individual. I was apparently second for best army, but Matt Gorham very rightfully won that because his army is amazing. And I'll show you some pictures of that in just a second. But that was the end of my tournament. So I finished on, I think I finished 42nd out of 64 or something, which is rubbish. But 3 losses, that's what it does to you. So yeah, that's the thing. Let's have a look at some armies, shall we? Alright, let's have a little look at some of the armies. Oh, this one's my army! Ah, it's alright, isn't it? It's quite nice. I did pretty well. I am told it was second best painted, which is like being first loser in many ways. But little Thonar at the top there with his little banner. Got best miniature, which is nice. And you've seen these ones enough already, I would say, because they beat the crap out of me in game 1. It's Jeff's Ogres, lovely and they are, very nice. And these ones you've just watched beat the crap out of me in game 5. So they would be John's Abyssals, lovely as they are, all customised and painted beautifully. So I don't, and there's a bunch of armies now, I don't know whose they are, so we'll just kind of scroll through them. And I will say how nice they are because they are lovely. And these ones I think are the Raging Heroes miniatures. Oh no, they're not, they're GW, aren't they? Yeah, they're GW with a head swap maybe. This is Andy Marshall, who does a very nice job. These are his Kingdoms of Men. A restrained display board, I feel, for the King of Display boards in the UK. I liked these ones. These are more Kingdoms of Men by the look of them. A nice yellow theme, nice bright yellow. It's hard to do. And this one, we were looking at these and thinking, why on earth did these incredibly, ridiculously nicely painted miniatures not win Best Miniature? And it turns out these are commission painted by Angel Geraldes. So they're really, really spectacularly good for that reason. But they don't qualify because he didn't paint them himself. Nice though they are. Here's some ogres. I want to say, maybe. Who knows what they are? Are they Night Stalkers? Are they ogres? I think they're ogres. They've got chariots in them, haven't they? Nice gribbly monster top right there. Maybe they're allies. Who knows? This one is Matt G's Night Stalkers, which won Best Army. Very well deserved. They are beautiful. And as you can see, themed around a beautiful haunted house, doll's house. Some little close-ups for you, all Mantic, all customised. You can see we've got the soul flares coming out of the mirrors there, incredible. Everyone's got their own little. You see the little horror in the middle carrying a clown's head, a decapitated clown's head. You've got the butchers in the library. One's got a chair. It's just so clever. You see the little scarecrows in the kitchen. It's brilliant, isn't it? Keep off the grass there. Even the bloodworms, are they? Bloodworms are all the little miniatures from Naiad Ensnarers. So clever, so much work. Very well deserved winner. Great guy, an amazing job. Those are, I think, Tom Robertson's Northern Lions there. Very nice. I really like this paint job. Again, I didn't see the names on any of these, so it was really disappointing to not be able to say how much I like them. But what a clever way to do it. So just that little all grey with that orange highlight, just beautiful. Very striking. And there's some very colourful. These ones, I believe. Oh no, these. Oh god, I don't know. They look like ogres, don't they? They're definitely ogres. They've got flying things in them. Maybe had allied dracons. Who knows? So London GT was it was all right. It was okay. The terrain, as you can see, was a little bit lackluster, but the actual tournament was fine once you got there. It's in a god awful part of London, so we ended up staying about half an hour away in an Airbnb, which was a pain. So we couldn't really indulge in evening shenanigans because we went home instead and played board games all evening, which was really fun. I had honestly the best time at a Clash of Kings I've ever been to. This was my fourth. Really enjoyed it. Would have been good to see more players, and I think we had a discussion, and to cut a long story short, I might have offered to TO it for next year. So, you know, that's a thing that's happening. Myself and a group of like-minded TOs from the UK have taken on the mantle in partnership with Mantic. More on that later. I don't think many people stay to this late in the video, so it's fine to talk about it now. There will be a lot of information coming out once we have the venue locked down and tickets come out. I really hope that everyone likes what we're doing with it, making it really accessible. It'll be somewhere in the Midlands. It will be, you know, travelable, convenient. There will be shenanigans. It will be really fun. And I look forward to seeing you all there. That's all for now. I think I finished about very low. I can't remember, 42nd. Not great, but I had a great time. And that's it for this tournament report. And what's up next for me is I'm running a tournament in a couple of weeks here in the Midlands, which I'm very much looking forward to. At a new venue, seeing how that goes, trying a new scoring system. Might do a little video blog about that coming up soon, so people can yell at me and tell me how it's bad. And until next time, we'll see you. I don't know. I really do need to work on a sign-off phrase. See you later, chums.